Hi, it's Mark Joseph here, and let me tell you, this is the 5th time I'm shooting this video because I wasn't happy with all the other takes. So it's not easy. So I'm a content creator like you, and I just wanted to share some little bits and pieces of information and see if it can help you in making your own content for the video platforms. So I used to work in the film industry and photography for many years as a production manager, but I was never actually a cameraman or anything like that. I was just production. So I did kind of take a few notes. So I'm just trying to be also very natural with you. I've got a lot of things that I want to say. I don't even have a script because I've actually memorized what I wanted to say to you, and in that memorization process it helps me to be more natural with you. I find that I'm using my hands more and I'm more expressive and I feel calmer because I know what I want to say. Okay, a lot of people use teleprompters, and I'll show you one that I use sometimes if the information is quite technical and you can't remember. But please stay away from reading your script. It just removes so much magic away from you and makes you very scripted and I guess boring, and your eyes also are, looking down instead of the camera because you're reading and you're not really there for whoever's watching you. So please try and stay away from that. But I will show you little tips and techniques that I use. I'm looking directly at you, and instead of looking down at the camera or looking up, I find that this is probably the best angle to engage with. I'm looking directly at you. Then, yes, my lighting, I'm not using an external light source. I could be using this. This is pretty good if I need a light filler. It's got a USB that attaches to my computer and it works really well as a soft light. I have external light coming through a window, which I will show you shortly, and I find that that is probably just fine. It seems to be just okay. I've got light shining on me from the ceiling, just normal lights working from home. It's not a professional studio. I've also got this light over here, which I've used before. I'm using it now just to illuminate my background. I would not use this light on me because it's too bright and it also makes me squint a little. Okay, so that's the thing, just to balance that light so you feel okay with it. If you're sitting facing a window, it can get quite bright, especially if the sun is shining directly in your eyes. And you can start to squint and so on. So just balance that out for yourself. But it does really work if you're facing a window. Okay, make sure the windows are closed as well. You don't want bugs flying in and flying around and so on. Oh, there's so much to do. I'm shooting this landscape, not portraits. Okay, my phone is like this. I'm shooting on the iPhone 12, which is a great phone. It's got a great camera. It's landscape. That's what we need, a 16 by 9, and I'm shooting at 720 quality wise, which is the minimum requirements. Okay, that's HD minimum. You could shoot at 1080 or 1200, that's fine too, or even 4K. Obviously, the bigger you adjust your shooting capacity, the bigger that file size is going to be. So yeah, at 720 for a 10-minute video, it's just over a gig, I find. That's fine. If I was shooting on 4K, I'd probably be looking at 3 or 4 gigs. That's pretty difficult to then transfer to an editor, unless you're doing the editing yourself, obviously. But yeah, just something to keep in mind. Backgrounds. Background, I'm using this. It's a blackboard, just nice little tree image, that sort of thing. I change the background up often. You could choose a background that's quite interesting. Some people just use a plain white wall. I guess that's okay. Some people have backgrounds where they have their furniture in the background, and that's pretty cool as well, like a bookshelf. Please don't use a bed as a background, or a messy lounge or a kitchen. Unless you're doing like a food thing. but make sure that everything's tidied up, because you might shoot and then find that there's like a unsightly cable or something, or just like half a plate of food that you forgot to move out of the background. So be mindful of the backgrounds as well. Sound, I'm using the sound off the phone for now. It's pretty good. The acoustics in this room are really good as well. There's no echoey sound. Sometimes if the sound does echo, depending on the room I'm in, I do use a lapel mic, and I will show you the equipment that I bought to record sound. It's very good. If you have another phone, you could always record sound with a little lapel mic that you can buy quite cheaply. I know Shure have got some good ones at about 1,000 Rand. That's S-U-R-E. I bought one plugged into the phone, but you will need a second phone if you are using your phone to film, that is. But I did splash out and buy myself a field microphone called Zoom. I'll show you that shortly. And it allows me to then go outside and shoot outside. Shooting outside is a whole nother realm, which I'm not going to get into because it's very difficult. But it's nice to do videos where you're walking and talking into the camera and so on. But right now I'm just sitting. Yeah, so what else? We've spoken about sound, good quality sound. We've spoken about background. We've spoken about light source. We've also talked about the quality that you need to be shooting at. Yes, obviously, you know, dress up beautifully, try and brush your hair nicely, put some makeup on, make sure that what you're wearing is appropriate and suitable. I'd like to encourage you to dress up as much as possible to appear, and you know, the market is quite corporate, so I guess that would be be appropriate, I would think, and just be natural, be authentic, be yourself. And the less I have to read, I find I'm more myself. I'm not reading anything at the moment. I'm just speaking from memory, and I have really memorized these particular points. So I'm looking directly at you rather than down or up. That is the camera angle. And I do have a desk stand that I'm going to show to you now. I'll show you my setup. So let's move to that. Okay, so here is what I'm facing. It's my background. It's where I put my phone. Here is a little tripod stand for my phone that I attach it to, and then I put it on the table facing me like that. Or I could position it on the top layer like that, and that's if I'm standing. Again, I'll have my ring light on. And then I can adjust this as well. This is a really magical desk stand. I did buy it for, I think it was about 1,500 Rand, but it really is, you don't have to buy it. You can play around with boxes and books, but I really started getting quite frustrated with that. So here's, I'm next to a window, and I feel that there's enough light coming through here and to suffice. I've got sort of side lights, things, the fillers that really help. Obviously, I got lights on as well at the top. So I feel that the light is pretty good as it is, but you may want to position yourself directly in front of the light source, which is the open window during the day. Quite interesting enough, I've got a free online software thing called Teleprompter. Okay, there it is, Teleprompter. And it's really amazing because you can add your script or whatever it is that you want to say, and then you push play, boom, and then it kind of scrolls up. So I know it's quite crude, but this is kind of how I've been working, and maybe you have a better system. I've got double-sided tape. I mean, it's this stuff here. I just stuck it on my computer. I've got my son's phone, just using it as a demo. So I would then stick it against that double-sided tape, obviously pushing record first because I can't do it once it's stuck down. There you go. So now it's in place, and then I play my teleprompter, and I'm looking into that camera, and I can read my script if I need to, if I haven't memorized it, and then it looks as though my eyes are looking into the camera. And that really helps me That really, really helps me, and it doesn't damage the computer at all. I find it's just been great. But you have to make sure you've pushed record before you stick it down, because as you can see, as soon as I lift this, it's going to become unstuck once again. Okay, there it is. All right, that's a little tip. Okay, so now I'm standing. I'm using that top level of the desk stand, which really gives me that height. As you can see, it's quite eye level. And again, my background not quite conducive. The lighting I think is still great. And with standing, I can move around a bit. I can be a bit more expressive, use my hands, move my body, and it just creates a bit more life. It depends on the subject material. It might be a bit too much. If you're trying to do something really soft and meditative, then you might really just want to sit down and be relaxed. But for certain instances, standing can bring a good dynamic and energy as well to your content. Okay, great. Now that we've had a look at the setup and you've recorded your video on your phone, the next thing that people ask me is, how do I get the video off my phone and onto my computer so I can send it to the editors, or even I'll try and edit myself? Well, I know with Apple, you've got Apple Share, where you can actually just share your videos quite easily via Bluetooth, and this is what it looks like. And also on Android, you have something called Nearby Share, which you can also share from your phone to your computer as well. Then some of the videos I've seen have background music. I would recommend not playing background music because it just doesn't sound so good. If you have a radio or a player while you are recording the actual content, it's better to actually just add the track in post-production. The editor can add the track. Also, if you are using music, there's a lot of legalities about the rights protection of that music. Are you sure that that music is royalty free? Because if there's an owner and they want money, then your content can't be used. So we have to make 100% sure. You can't have Taylor Swift or Led Zeppelin or something like that. It cannot be recognized. It has to be from a source of royalty free. That's really, really important. And then if you do decide to explore editing your own videos, there are wonderful sites. I bought Final Cut Pro, which is an incredible editing software. Then I've used other online editing things like videos. Can really add extra elements in terms of copy and animation to your work. There's also Envato, which I don't really know too much about, but I've heard it's amazing. I also use Canva a lot. Canva is absolutely amazing. It's got stock videos. I just use a lot of videos. I pay an annual fee, which is really not expensive, so you check it out. And you've got music on Canva, you've got videos on Canva. It's just so cool. You can even do PowerPoint presentations on Canva, everything. So that's just, okay, I don't want to get into it too long, but that's just kind of my tips on how to create videos. If there's anything more that I think of, or any other software or hardware that I would recommend, I will definitely keep you in the loop and let you know. But good luck. We're looking forward to seeing your great videos. See you then.